Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today's thought experiment is wild, terrifying, and completely mind-blowing. What if Earth suddenly stopped spinning? No gradual slowdown, just a dead stop. One moment we're rotating at 1,670 kilometers per hour at the equator, and the next, it's zero. What happens next will shock you. First, imagine the momentum. Everything not solidly attached to bedrock would keep moving at Earth's original rotational speed. Cars, trees, oceans, people. You'd be launched eastward at over 1,000 miles per hour. The result? A wave of destruction circling the planet. Buildings would collapse, skyscrapers would be torn apart, cities would be obliterated in moments. The atmosphere wouldn't stop with the ground. Air would keep whipping around the globe at supersonic speeds. Global winds faster than a Category 5 hurricane would tear across the planet. The sky itself would become a weapon, flattening forests, scouring deserts, and turning pebbles into bullets. Then come the oceans. The equator bulges outward due to centrifugal force from Earth's spin. Stop the spin, and that force disappears. Water rushes away from the equator toward the poles in an apocalyptic tsunami. Former coastlines would be wiped clean while Canada, Russia, and Antarctica would become the new ocean front. Earth would also lose its protective magnetic field over time. This field is generated by our spinning molten core. Without rotation, it weakens and collapses. That means solar radiation from the sun would bombard the surface unchecked, disrupting electronics, mutating DNA, and potentially stripping away the atmosphere over centuries. Gravity itself wouldn't change, but without the spin-induced centrifugal force, you'd feel slightly heavier. In fact, people at the equator would weigh about 0.3% more. Not enough to notice in daily life, but it adds up. Your 70-kilogram frame now feels like 70.2 kilograms. It's small, but it's the beginning of a much larger nightmare. Day and night as we know them would vanish. Earth's 24-hour rotation controls our cycle of light and dark. With no spin, one side of the planet would face the sun for 6 months straight, cooking under relentless heat. The other side, endless darkness and cold, plunging into Arctic conditions. Life as we know it would cease to exist in these extremes. The climate system would collapse. Wind patterns, ocean currents, jet streams, they're all powered by Earth's rotation. Without it, weather systems would stagnate, the water cycle would fail, rainforests would dry out, deserts would expand, entire ecosystems would vanish within weeks or months. Geological activity could spike. Earth's mantle would readjust to the new shape, more spherical than oblate. This could trigger earthquakes and volcanic eruptions worldwide. Tectonic plates might grind violently as the balance of forces beneath the crust shifts suddenly and unpredictably. Satellites would fall from the sky. They rely on Earth's spin to maintain their geosynchronous orbits. Without it, satellite communication systems would fail. GPS, gone. Global internet infrastructure, crippled. The world would plunge into a technological blackout. Human civilization would have to migrate. Survivable zones might exist at the edges of the permanent day-night boundary, the so-called Terminator zone, where temperatures are less extreme. Humanity would be forced into narrow belts of twilight just to survive, battling scarcity, radiation, and social collapse. So what if Earth stopped spinning? It would be the end of life as we know it, mass destruction, total climate collapse, and the death of ecosystems. Earth wouldn't be a blue marble anymore. It'd be a twisted, barely habitable wasteland. If you enjoyed this apocalyptic journey into science fiction made terrifyingly real, give us a like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more what-if scenarios that blow your mind and bend reality.